Hi everyone, this is Mike from freshbelief.com, and today I want to talk about my future plans for Kindle and really things that are happening, everything in my business. I'm just going to go over everything. Now, if you've been following me over the last few months, I've been doing a lot of education. Now, this education has helped, but at the same time, it's distracted me from my goals and everything that I needed to do. And this is exactly the same thing that can happen to you. And I highly advise you to really just study one thing, get good at it, and then move on to the next. I was trying to work out email marketing. I was trying to work out affiliate marketing, more stuff from Kindle. It was just turning into a huge mess, and I was getting very little done on every single aspect. I started an affiliate marketing website, but at the same time, it's kind of struggled because I haven't been able to focus on it 100%. And now to me, I want to be focusing 100% on something so I can make the best out of it. So one of the things that I've kind of done is I've been looking at just focusing and nailing down on my Kindle business, looking at what I really need to do. And by doing this, I've been able to really get a hold of my business and allow me to now work very minimal time on my business. Like today I worked I think it was 2 hours on my business when normally I'd work more hours. I was really working at it, and now it's like I've got everything in place. Now, as said with that, I was working with too many businesses. Now, what I've done now is I've been able to get a bunch of keywords together and a bunch of titles together, and that is going to allow me to create about 100 to 200 books. I found around 50 keywords, and that's going to allow me to create multiple books for each keyword, allowing me to, boom, explode. Explode with everything that I'm doing. In creating the books and the business, and allow me to do it more passively. It's like I've got, at this stage right now, I've got my proofreaders all hired. I've got to hire 2 more formatters, because the amount of books that's going to come through one formatter won't be able to handle it. I'll be producing 2 to 4 books a week. So I just want to scale up this business really quickly and bounce onto something else, go on to something else, and then have a passive income of $5,000 to $20,000 a month from my Kindle business. I'll see what happens with it. So what have I done? I'm in the process of hiring writers. The reason why I don't use writing companies anymore is because I feel that the standard of them has dropped. I haven't been able to find a company which can write to the standard I want. So I actually go directly on Upwork and I hire freelancers. It's the worst part about hiring on Upwork is the process of hiring them. For one of my books, it took, I think it was 2 to 3 weeks to actually find the right writer. But once I found them, their writing is up here. It's high standard. And I'm paying them less than what I'd pay the writing company, because there's no middleman. The writing company will take their cut, their middleman fee for sorting it all out. So for me, I prefer to hire up front, put in the effort up front, and get a better return and a better quality of books. If there is another company out there that wants to contact me and say, okay, you can do the standard, send what I'm gonna say, give me a free amount of words that you can write on any subject that I choose, and I will assess you. And might even be able to do a collaboration. But yeah, currently I'm hiring of Upwork right now for my writers. The other things is formatters. The reason why I need formatters is because I need my books in a certain way. I need to put the free bonus. I need to put, okay, if you enjoyed the book, blah, 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 leave a review. I need to have the chapters done in a certain way, the table of content. When I have a box set, I need them to be able to put it together. I don't want to do that work. It's something somebody else can do. I also need a proofreader, so I've already hired 3 proofreaders for all of my books, because now I feel, okay, they can handle them. I'm considering hiring 1 more as a backup if one drops off, but we'll see. Right now I have 3 very high level proofreaders, which I've hired. Okay, so yeah, that's really about it in regards to that outsourcing process. Yeah, formatters, proofreaders, writers. Oh yeah, cover creator. I've had a cover creator who's creating fantastic covers for me. Covers which, the rest of the covers, it just blows the rest of the covers on for the niche I'm in, the keywords, it just blows them out. So I've got this one guy, he's working with me, and I'm looking for this guy. Maybe look for somebody else, but right now I'm happy with this one guy. He's doing fantastic work for me. Now, in regards to the publishing side, before I was publishing like one or two, I had a drought of I'd say a couple of months where I wasn't publishing anything, and it was all passive income. I was earning an average of $1,500 a month, and with that ability of earning $1,500 a month, I was just able to do some research, do some education, I'll be okay. And with that said, it was like, okay, now I've got to do something. I want to get up to the high level. February was my target of earning $10,000 a month. I didn't hit it. Why? Because I stagnated. And now it's like, okay, now I've got the strategy. I'm applying all the methods from Lucas' course the way they should be. Boom. I'm going to start making some real cash. I'm really going to start scaling up because I'm going to be making, like I say, 8 to 16 books a month. And I'm going to hit 50 to 100 books within a few months. That's the plan. Just keep on bang, 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 banging them out. And with that said, it's like you can do the same thing as well. It's not difficult to do if you know the system of how to, get everything together. Now, my advice to you, if you're going to, if you want to really scale up, you first of all need to get all your keywords together. You need to get all your titles together. Because once you've got your keywords and titles together, it's easy from there. Because all you do is you give your titles to your writer, and this is important, get the writer to create the outline for your book. Check the outline, see if it's good, see if you like it. If you have any questions, ask questions about the outline, and then you just go, boom, and you let him create the book. If you're outsourcing first 2,000 words for the first time, because you want to see is he able to write, send them to the first 2,000 words to your proofreader and let the proofreader check their quality. If it's good, boom, then they write the rest of your books. Every single book to the proofreader. After the proofreader, the formatter, and then publish. And that's really, really the way I'm going to be doing it now. So yeah, my future and beyond, really what I want to do now is spend the next few months just really scaling up the business. It is going to be a lot of expense, but I see this as a good investment. Because once I've invested this money in the business, I don't have to do much else. It's like an ROI on any investment and anything. It's going to take time for you to make it back. You're not just going to, I'm going to make $100,000 next month. No. You might invest $5,000 this month and you might only make 1,000. But if you keep on making 1,000 per month, what's that? That's a 5-month ROI. And then after that, you start making profit. And that's the way I see this. I'm looking at this as a long-term game, a long-term business. Because if I looked at this short-term and I saw miserable results in the short-term, I'd be like, oh no, screw this, it's no good. But if I look at this a long-term, I'm like, okay, this book's doing well, I'm going to improve it, I'm going to make it better. And in that way, I'm actually looking at it as a long-term asset. This is how you should be looking at your books, as a long-term asset. Because these are things that are going to be making you money for months and months and years to come. This is basically, if you can get it to a couple of $1,000s, you can retire. Why? Retirement is you having more money coming in than you spend. So let's say it's $10,000. That's easily enough to retire. So let's say you work your ass off for a year and then you're making $10,000 a month. You just go on holiday. Do what the hell you want. You can retire then. If that's what you want to do, perfect. But for me, I want to keep on working. So really, it's like, I want to build the Kindle business, get that to a level where it's, good. And then after that, go on to other avenues, affiliate marketing, email marketing, Facebook advertising. I want to get into all of them, but I'll do it step by step by step. And this is my advice to you guys, it's like, if you are thinking of, okay, I'm going to go Kindle, I'm going to do affiliate marketing, I'm going to do email marketing, I'm going to do all that, forget about it. Concentrate on one, learn everything you need to know, focus on it, and then build it up. Because the worst thing you can do is you can do what I did, and take your focus will go somewhere else, and you won't progress. You know, I got to $1,500 and then I went like this. I stayed around. It went up and down, you know, and it kind of went up and down, and then so it stayed around an average of $1,500. And for me, that was like, oh, I'm okay, I'm earning this. But now it's like, now I want to earn more. So really, yeah, if you take anything away from this video, I want you to understand that you can scale up quickly if you get everything in order. You know, outsource to Upwork instead of using these writing companies, because seriously, some of these writing companies, their standard is horrible. You know, I'm not going to name any, but I've used many. I've used 4, and you know, the standard has been terrible. You know, without a proofreader, they're all written by non-natives from like the Philippines or India, and it's just not good. So that's my advice. You know, and then concentrate on one thing and scale up. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you want to know more about me, you know, check out my Facebook, which is facebook.com/Facebook. My website, freshbelief.com, you know, and if you enjoy this video, hit us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. If you have any comments about what I said, leave a comment below. Alright, catch you later guys, bye.